Let's review our Sunday school lesson for today. We are beginning in the month of December, January, and February a new quarter. It's our winter quarter. And the title is Faith That Pleases God. In this quarter, we're going to be looking at the description of what faith is. And we'll also look at faith in action. We will also see why it is so important for us to have faith in our everyday lives. Our first unit number one for the month of December 2023, is entitled Profiles in Faith. We're going to look at 5 different lessons dealing with Ruth and First Samuel and Matthew, and the profile of men and women who put their faith into action. Our lesson for today is lesson number one for December the 3rd, 2023, entitled Changing Identity. And our printed passage is Ruth 1, verse 6 through 18, and verse number 22. One of the first people that we look at today to see about faith in action is a woman by the name of Ruth. You know Ruth, and her sister went to be with Mother Naomi. And as they were leaving Jerusalem in the midst of a drought, they went to Moab to try to find some relief. Unfortunately, there in Moab, it only was pain and grieving. Naomi lost her husband, and then Ruth, along with her sister, lost their husbands. And the place that they were going to look for relief actually caused them so much pain. But it's in the midst of that story that we see what faith in action looks like. It's in the midst of that painful experience that we discover what it looks like to have faith, even when things are against you, or even when things are opposite of you. Amen. We see what that looks like. So in the life of Ruth, we see one, that faith requires dedication. You've got to be faithful. Even when things started going bad and Naomi wanted to tell them daughters to go on back and wanted them to leave, one sister left. But Ruth said, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to stay with you. Faith in action is trust in God to say, listen, I know things may not be going good or going like I want them to go right now, but I'm going to stay with Jesus. I'm going to go all of the way. That's what it means. Amen. It means that I'm not going to shortchange or leave God, but I'm going to follow him all of the way. I'm going to be dedicated. And even in life troubles, do we still find ourselves as dedicated to our faith in God? Do we find ourselves as dedicated as Ruth was to Naomi? The secondly is trust. Ruth said, verse number 18, I'll go wherever you go. and she was steadfastly minded. Faith in Jesus will keep your mind on him. It won't let you turn to the left or turn to the right. And no matter how bad things may get, you trust him. You say, Lord, I know you got a plan for me. Lord, I know you got a purpose. I don't understand it all right now. I cannot get it all right now. My mind can't comprehend it now, but I trust you. And I trust what you're doing. Amen. Why is that? Because we walk by faith, not what we see, but we walk by faith, not by sight. So we've got to walk steadfastly with our eyes on Jesus. Just ask Peter what happens when we take our eyes off Jesus. He was walking on the water until he took his eyes off Jesus and began to sink. So we have to walk by faith. And then finally, faith will pay off. Look at Ruth. She decided to stay with Naomi. They went back to Jerusalem, left Moab. And Moab was a unique place. Moab was the place where Israel was on the banks of before they crossed Jordan River going into the promised land. Moab was their last stop before they went into the promised land. So, what an image. They left the land God had given to them and they crossed over Jordan back to Moab. So, at the end of the story, they leave Moab, go back to Jerusalem because it was the beginning of the barley harvest. And when they got back in this beautiful story, that's when Ruth met her Boaz. I tell you today, faith in God pays off. If you just stay faithful, I mean through everything, if you just stay with God, amen, everything will work out for your good. Don't give up on him because he'll never give up on us. Amen. Just stay faithful. And there's a reward for your faithfulness. What a beautiful lesson. I pray it bless you. Amen.